Hello everyone, today in Sangi's Cookery we are going to see how to prepare a Mor Kali or a Moor Kuzhu. Mor Kali is a traditional Indian recipe which is used by preparing the rice flour and the buttermilk as the main ingredients. This can be very quickly prepared within minutes if you have just the rice flour ready, and if you have the rice flour and if you don't have any vegetables at home, with buttermilk you can just prepare this recipe as how you prepare the upma, and once it gets slightly thickened you can cut it into small pieces and serve. This is usually a recipe which is being liked by a few items who like the taste of Mor Kali, so I will not tell you that everybody will like the taste, but it is a traditional taste, and if you are used to that, people will just love it. So you can always try it once to find out whether the taste buds suits you for this particular dish. So before we try out this recipe, if you are watching my video for the first time, I would request you all to subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell icon for further interesting recipes and notifications. The ingredients required for preparing the Mor Kali or the Mor Kuzhu are: I've taken 1 cup of the rice flour. This is just the store-bought rice flour. So for 1 cup of the rice flour, I've taken half a cup of the sour curd. So preferably the sour curd gives you a very good taste. 1 teaspoon of urad dal, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, a few fresh curry leaves, and finely chopped green chillies, or you can crush it using in the mixer jar. You can coarsely grind it. 1 teaspoon of hing or the asafoetida, 1 red chilli which is slit, and curd chillies. This gives you a very good flavor. This is available in the market. Salt as per taste, and oil required for seasoning, preferably the Gingelli oil, around 4 tablespoons. So first what I have done is I've taken this 1 cup of the rice flour, and to this I'll be adding approximately around 3 cups of water. Curds, sour curds, which is around half a cup. So totally the measurement goes like this: for 1 cup of rice flour it is 3.5 cups, which is 3 cups of water and half a cup of sour curd. Whisk it nicely mix it up so that the rice flour gets mixed up nicely in the water and the curd. So if you don't have the sour curd, what you can do is you can mix the fresh curds along with water in the morning itself, so that by afternoon or in the evening, if you want to prepare this, about 2 to 3 hours, if you just leave it outside, it becomes slightly sour, and then you can make this preparation. Now you can see that it is nicely in a buttermilk consistency. Now we can even add the salt in this mixture itself. So if you add the salt here, the advantage is that you can taste if the salt is appropriate or not. I'm going to heat up the pan, and I'm adding around 4 tablespoons of the Gingelli oil. So first I'm going to fry the curd chillies in the oil. You can keep the flame somewhere in medium. I'm also adding the red chillies. Now you can see that the color of the chillies have turned into a nice dark brown in color. At this stage I'm adding the mustard seeds. Also adding the urad dal, hing or the asafoetida. All these seasonings gives a very good flavor for the Mor Kali. So you can see that the mustard seeds and begin to splutter. Also adding the chopped green chillies, curry leaves. Once the seasonings are fried, I'll be adding the prepared mixture. So you can see that it is nicely in a watery consistency. Make sure that the flame is somewhere between low to medium. I've also added some water in the curd vessel and adjusted the consistency. So for this particular dish, for about 1 cup of the rice flour, I have added around half a cup of curd and 3.5 cups of water. So if you are a beginner, I would suggest that you just keep it in low flame, though it's going to take a little more time. I remember my mom used to just make this dish, and we used to relish it so much. Just make sure that you keep mixing it from the sides. You need to cook this kuzhu until the mixture becomes thick and it comes as one mass. And also what you need to note is the raw flavor of the rice flour should go, and also you need to get a glossy finish of the rice flour which is cooked in the buttermilk. That's when you know that the entire dish is prepared well and it has come to the right consistency. You can also keep adding some oil. This particular cooler, the consistency is somewhat like this, and my grandmom used to give this like this in a plate. She used to add this in the plate and used to give it. But nowadays what happens is people like the presentation. So we can smear some gingelli oil or any oil on the plate and then pour this mixture on the plate and allow it to set it for about an hour or so, after which you will be able to cut it into small pieces. So now you can see that it's come to a nice glossy consistency. It's also nice and thick. At this stage I'm just switching off the gas and I'm going to transfer this. Since I've added the curd chilli and the red chilli as well, the color of the Mor Kali is slightly not the pure white, at least I'm getting the off-white color. But if you want a nice white color, then you just add only the green chillies. So now we have actually transferred this to the plate. So before we cut into small pieces, it has to cool down. So at least allow it to cool for about half an hour to 45 minutes before you cut into small pieces. Only then you will get a nice cake-like about half an hour. So it's actually cooled, and I've actually cut this into small pieces like this. So what happens is, at that time if you put it when it is hot, it will not come out properly. Once it comes to the room temperature, you can easily cut it. Just to show you the piece, so you can see that it comes to this thickness. It's like a small rice cake. I've just cut into small pieces like this in a bite size so that it will be easier to eat. You can either eat it with hand or with a spoon, and this goes well with any kind of sambar or vetta kolambu or any kind of puli kolambu. I have put a lot of kara kolambu recipes in my videos. You can look for that. Otherwise, this particular dish, frankly speaking, doesn't need any kind of accompaniments at all. You can just have it just like that. I hope you'll all try out this recipe, and if you like it, please share it with your friends and relatives. Have a wonderful day.